Hey pen friends, welcome back to Ginger Peachy Pens. Today I want to share a new pen with you and talk through the similarities and differences between the Leonardo Momento Magico and the Leonardo Momento Zero. I thought that these two were essentially the same pen with different cap bands, and boy was I wrong. So quickly I'll show you my new pen. This is the Leonardo Momento Magico in Venus Dream. It's a beautiful poppy pink. It's got a little bit of like a coral tint to it. Um, as you can see, it has an ink window, which is different from the Momento Zero. When I first saw this pen, it was only in stock with the black hardware, and I didn't want the black hardware, but I loved the pen otherwise. I loved the pictures I had seen with the pink gold, and so I set up an in-stock notification. I didn't think that it would come back because they were limited, but somehow it came back. I think I got it from Gold Spot, I think, and came back in stock, and so I snatched one up. So I'm not going too in depth because I want to talk through some of the differences here, and I don't want to repeat myself too much. So right off the bat, putting these pens side by side, we're going to use Patience the Tortoise as our assistant here. These two pens are not the same length. I thought that they would be. They are not. You can see several differences right off the bat. Let's see. Let's just bring the camera a little lower. Yes, the cap bands are different. The lengths of the pens overall are different. The clips are the same. I think they're the same color as well. They both have a ring near the bottom, though this has a longer knob on the end. They're essentially the same width. I think the caps are really the same width, but the Momento Magico does look a little bit slimmer in the barrel. Just right along here, it's a little slimmer. I hope you can see that. They both have the same profile with the little points on the top and the bottom. So that's the same. But here's a major difference. So here's the Momento Zero up close. I have a whole video on this one. This is the Nuvola, Momento Zero Nuvola, which means clouds or cloud. This pen is a cartridge converter. So you unscrew it. Here's my converter. Doesn't have very much ink in it anymore. This knob on the end, which I don't open very often because it's plastic on metal, is a blind cap, which I don't really understand why anybody would ever want this. Like, that's not how I'm going to fill my pen with ink. But it's there. The nib is pink gold stainless steel. This one's a fine. This one is an extra fine. So that is a major difference. Whereas the Momento Magico, is a piston filler. So when you turn this knob, I'm not going to do it much because there is ink in this pen. There is a piston inside that moves up and down. You cannot open the pen here and fill it with ink. So that is why the difference in the knobs on the ends of the pen. Another big difference that I have noticed is the grip section. So if you've been around here for a while, you will know that one of the biggest reasons I sold the two Leonardos I've had before is because of this grip section. That on the Momento Zero and the Furore, they have this grip section that tapers down and then it just goes straight here. And so sometimes my fingers kind of migrate their way right down onto that nib and it can be uncomfortable. I don't hold my pen way back here. I hold it up closer. And if there's no little flare here, my fingers can just move right down onto that nib and it can, or I just grip it, right there and it ends up being uncomfortable. So, or just feeling slippery. So that was the main reason that I sold those two. And I just wasn't in love with the materials that I had either. They were really pretty, but, it was just sort of I can let these go. It won't break my heart. And so I did. But did you notice that this grip section is completely different on the Momento Magico? It has it's sort of a flare, so yeah, at the end. Um, it's not like a smooth, like, whoosh, flare. You sort of feel that little dip right there. Um, but hey, this keeps my fingers right on the grip section. And honestly, I have been enjoying this new Vola and just being mindful of how I hold it. And I haven't really had any problems. And I love this material, so it's staying. But this was a pleasant surprise to see that this one has a different grip section. Another difference, well, and I will show you, I think those grip sections are pretty comparable in width. Yeah, I mean, I don't really notice a difference. I don't know. The Momento Magico looks maybe slightly a tiny bit wider, but it's kind of negligible to me. I don't have a pair of calipers to measure for you. Another difference, of course, you see that there's no ink window on the Momento Zero, and this one has that ink window. The threads are different. So on this Momento Zero, these cap threads are pretty comfortable if you hold your pen back a little bit farther. You can feel them, like they're not like the Bone Crusher pens. They feel non-existent. These you can feel them, but they're definitely not sharp. Whereas I do think that the ones on the Momento Magico feel a little bit sharper, a little bit less comfortable. Yeah, so let's see if I can show you close enough that you can see a difference. I don't know, maybe you can see that they look a little bit sharper than the others. I don't know if you can tell that. Let's see. I'm going to look at my list here that I made of some differences. You saw these, the shape of this cap is a little bit different too. It just has this little step down here, which is kind of different, along with that beautiful cap band, whereas this one has those 3 rings here. This one also has this ring here on the barrel, and the Momento Magico does not. Well, it does have those 2 little rings around the ink window. That's a really nice touch. And let's see. So to me, the Momento Zero feels a little heavier and a little more premium. I think the price was pretty comparable, which is not surprising for a piston filler to be more expensive than a cartridge converter. That is not uncommon. But I will say, I think this material, and it could just be that it's a different type of material, this material feels more premium. Like, it feels a little bit thicker, a little bit sturdier. This pen weighs a little bit more than this one. This one feels a little bit, I don't want to say cheaper, because just because a pen is lightweight doesn't mean it feels cheap, but it does feel lighter. It feels like it's not as thick material, which it very well may not be, because to have a wider ink space, what's the word I'm looking for, in there, and to have a whole piston that fits down in there, maybe the walls of this pen are thinner to accommodate that piston moving up and down. I do think these are different types of resins, plastics, whatever, and so that probably makes a difference. And now that I'm thinking about it, I bet you this cartridge, this converter adds some weight. This converter and these metal, thingamabob, the threads and the thing here. I don't know what it's called. A collar? I don't know. And then the knob on this converter is also metal, so that probably adds some weight, as well as here I am taking this off again. the metal here in this blind cap. So all of those I think probably contribute, there's something on my pen, contribute to the weight difference between the two pins. And I was looking for my food scale to bring it in here, and I don't know why I can't find it. Shows you how recently I've used it. But I do have a postage scale, so let's see if this, you might not be able to see it, but I can tell you. Let's see if this goes small enough to like tell us the difference. And it's not going to be perfect because they both have ink in them. This one has a little bit of ink in it. This one has more ink in it. So it's not going to be a perfect measurement. Please forgive me. All right, let's turn this to grams. And the Leonardo Momento Zero, with only a smidgen of ink left in it, 28 grams. The Momento Magico, with a little more ink in it, is 24 grams. So it is quite a bit different. So let's see the difference without the caps. So uncapped, the Momento Zero is 20 grams, and the Momento Magico is 16 grams. So the caps should be 6 grams, 6 grams, the same. Is that mathing? I don't know. But this barrel is a little bit lighter weight than this one, and it's probably due to all that metal in there. So no big deal. I don't even know what those grams mean. So that sounds dumb, but like the weight, you know, that small of a weight doesn't make a big difference for me. But like I said, it does. This one does feel a little more premium. This one has that benefit of the piston filler, the larger ink capacity, and the flare on the grip section, and a really nice extra fine nib that I'm really enjoying. So there it is. There's a little comparison for you. If you have ever wondered, or if you never noticed that these two pens were different, like I didn't, then now you know that there's a difference between the Momento Zero and the Momento Magico. And they're both lovely pens. I am very happy with both of them. I can see hanging on to these for a long time. So anyway, let me know what you think. Which one do you like better? Do you own either one of these? And yeah, let me know what you think. And I look forward to chatting with you in the comments. Have a great day. Bye.